worldwide has been awakening. What is spring? That which was latent during the winter comes into existence. We are in a springtime. And this nature of it is everywhere. The power and the intensity of the new life that's come is expressed through invention, through creativity, through people discovering their own way to come into existence outside of the structures of churches and organizations and institutes, so they can discover the fullness of what's possible for each of them as individuals, coming to the wholeness of what it takes to be able to hold the principle of the avatar transition. Your agency now. You're here because you have some capacities. You have some natural, through the course of many lives, gifts to be able to be aware, if not actually be transformed into a vessel, an agency, a instrument or channel, depending upon your system and your stage of evolution, for this new consciousness that's coming to its fruition worldwide. Worldwide. You'll see the same intelligence and creativity in undeveloped countries. You'll see it popping up here or there, here and there, more rapidly. You'll see large countries organizing themselves to be important in the world stage, because now that's the arena. One planet, one humanity. No matter what your vantage point or your ideologies, it's one humanity, one planet. Everybody's interrelated to everything else. The world economy is an awakened state where self-interest is moderated by the benefit of being of help or assistance to others. We begin to learn the rules of sacrifice that allows for benefit that would not otherwise be possible without the sacrifice. So the greed is still there, but the greed has this to be a benefit for more than the person who carries the greed, so that others can experience the same abundance that they've been able to experience. It leaks in the very thing that bound and obscured humanity forever. And it starts becoming a different kind of thing. It's a matter of where the identity goes out of the small individual to being able to realize that small individual begin to realize that it can grow if it includes others. And that identity realizes it can grow if it includes even more. And then it realizes, begins to experience that when it gives something, more comes back than you gave. It begins to realize the fundamental organization of karma and how to work it in order to benefit yourself, but in the process, benefiting others. Universalization is a movement of individual becoming universal, and it will always be in service of a greater humanity than we would otherwise serve in our own self-centered organization. So in this new age, our own individual attainment itself, we cannot be greedy. We have to learn to give it. We have to learn to let go. We have to learn to be generous with it, to share it, to participate. And then it grows. And then it becomes more real. You have to manifest what comes to you, or else it'll be limited. But it's only limited by your own unconscious, undeveloped parts. When you come out of the limitation, then there's joy and there's love. Well, then nothing needs to bind you, because you have the self-existent, unchanging quality of yourself. That's its own artesian well of aliveness, of truth, of presence, of love. The capacity to recognize the divinity in others. The ability to recognize each person is worthy of respect. To be able to recognize that everyone is struggling in their own way to come to the same truth and to be of service, to be useful. So you're part of a matrix, you see. Is a design that's already here. When you align with the design that's already here, you will attain. It will come, and you will fulfill your dharma. But the parts of you that resist or run from it or doesn't want to know, wants to stay small and afraid of their bigness, that will keep coming in and try and grab you. Then you'll be tested and tested and tested and tested to see if you keep actually ready for that which is eternal and unchanging. And if you don't recognize the tests for what they are, then you could be overtaken or diminished in your capacity to move forward or lose access to what you had before. But when you can learn to eat the limitations when you meet them, when you can learn to recognize it is a limitation and is not what I am, nor is it aligned with the truth of what I am, then they lose its power because you claim it for the source of the power that kept them in existence in the first place. You pull back your attention from those things. You pull back. You're assigning a meaning to your negative story. You pull back with your self-diminishing emotional addiction. You pull back from the seductions of life still calling you to something that may exist outside of yourself that you imagine could exist. None of which does, because it'll always end up in the same place, where you were and where you are within the scope of what you've been able to free yourself from. All right. So all about us, this is happening. We are part of a new wave. We are just an expression of it. My sense is happening everywhere in different ways, depending upon the quality of the vehicle, depending upon the circumstances, depending upon the environmental support for that being able. I mean,